Fellas, you know Degree Cool Rush deodorant, right? Well, last year they changed the formula, and guys were mad about it. One dude even started a petition. So guess what? Degree heard us, admitted they messed up, and brought the original Cool Rush scent back exactly how it was. And it's in Walmart, Target, and other stores now for under $4. So grab some and remember why its cool, crisp, and fresh scent made it the #1 men's antiperspirant for the last decade. Degree Cool Rush is back, and it smells like victory for all of us.
Well, we had a great intro for everybody, but start the show. That's all lost.
Yeah, it is.
All right.
Any minute now.
There we go. Wow.
Woo!
Wow.
2 hours later.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to OK Bud, the podcast where everything's gonna be okay, bud. I am Ben Kissel, Instagram at Ben Kissel1, joined by Jerii Aquino.
Hello.
And Miss_Jerii, that's Jerii. Shoot her a kind message, follow her on Instagram, and also follow this fella, Kyle Ploof.
Come on!
At Kyle Ploof. How's everyone doing today?
Oh, man. I am just buzzing with eczema.
I know your eczema's. I didn't realize that eczema went away and came back.
Well, it's because the sun is out. It's really bright, and I've been outside a lot lately, and I've been forgetting to wear sunblock.
Got you.
Every time I go outside, I shade myself a lot darker every time.
I love that.
Crusting, drying up, just
I love that.
pruning in the sun.
That sounds very Caucasian, Jerii.
Yeah, I know, but once it peels,
I love that.
the Latina butterfly comes out.
See, isn't that wonderful? Even beautiful women, they can have eczema as well.
Yeah.
I have a little wound on my leg that I'm currently covering up with a large Band-Aid. And it seems to be healing. I did Google.
Ben's falling apart.
I am. No, I'm falling. I'm falling together. I'm falling together. I did Google, is this cancer? And they didn't know.
What if you just tripped over something or hit a corner on your bed or something?
It's been there for weeks and weeks, maybe months, maybe even a year.
Okay.
All right, let's get into our first story on this fine day. It feels like forever since we've been together, and it's only been 2 days.
I know. I miss you guys. Yeah.
We have an update. Now, Jerii and Kyle, do you guys remember this story about UFC legend? No, it doesn't matter about the sport whatsoever. His name was BJ Penn, and he thought his family was abducted and turned into clones, and they were trying to kill him, so then he was all upset, and he's like, that's not my mother, that's not my father, that's not my sister, that's not my brother. Yeah. And then he had to defend himself against this family that is clones, but then his family, they had a small pushback, and they were like, no, we're people.
Yeah.
We're the people.
We're your family.
We're your people.
We're your family. Well, apparently it has escalated to the point.
No.
It has.
There was room to grow.
There was. Because before BJ Penn, he was just thinking it and saying it, but he wasn't physically acting on it.
Yeah, he was saying, if I have to defend myself against these people, I will.
He will.
Holy shit.
And he did.
He did. Former UFC champion BJ Penn, he was arrested, okay? And he was charged with abuse of a family or household member. That was this past weekend. He was taken to jail in Hawaii.
Yeah. Now he's going to the BJ Penn.
Hawaii? How could you? I see what
that
you
was
did
good.
there. That was a good one, Kyle.
That was good, Kyle.
Right.
And I'm happy that you stopped and really we recognized that.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Now
it should be recognized.
That really was good. Blowjob Penn entry.
Wow.
Yeah, very good.
And
very
now,
good.
Blowjob penitentiary.
Jerii, continue.
Any penitentiary could be a blowjob penitentiary.
We got it. Now you're doubling down, and it really doesn't matter.
Why does violence have to happen in Hawaii? And it's not even a volcano.
People in Hawaii are surprisingly dangerous.
Why?
Because they're used to the nature. They're used to the beauty. When you actually live there, you got high taxes. The sun starts beating down on your brain. You're annoying. You're annoyed by the annoying sun. And maybe you're a little bit annoying.
Probably a little annoying.
Also, I have heard the food's not very good.
No.
I've heard the food in Hawaii is not very good. Spam.
Is it all just coconut based?
It might be heavy coconut based, but spam is a tradition. It's a cornerstone of their cuisine.
Why does it could be a cornerstone, but they could have evolved past it by now.
No, even now, Spam, their major advertisements are like, you want to be like a Hawaiian, you want to live on the beach, enjoy some Spam, because there's nothing better than pork shoulder, as your fat, chunky pork shoulder is getting roasted by the sun.
Absolutely not.
So there was a clip. It came out of the incident. The incident was captured in a clip, and it premiered on Instagram.
Not premiered.
It premiered. And BJ Penn, he can be seen in handcuffs as officers are taking him away. And he says, I thought this was America.
No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't.
Oh.
Randy Marsh says that.
Yes, he does.
From South Park.
This is why you have to go home and just relax. You can't take your work home with you.
Well, his work is thinking that his parents are a bunch of clones and alien people.
Well, yeah. Well, his work is kicking ass.
It's a work-related injury. It's CTE, obviously.
It really might be.
Yeah, it's really sad. But also, if the family already kind of saw this coming, you'd think they'd have separated themselves by him or put him in a safe place.
I agree.
So he doesn't have to harm himself or others.
Not to victim blame, but you got to skirt around him.
Yeah.
You got to study a little bit, like, how do we, like, ooh, BJ's in the kitchen, but I really want to get that Diet Coke.
No.
How am I going to get it? And you got to skirt around and do some ninja moves.
No, you don't have to walk around eggshells around him. You have to figure something out. As they said, this was like a high priority, urgent matter back then when we first talked about it.
It was. That's true. I actually think this is better than having to walk around eggshells, because I used to have to do that because people were like, words are bad all of a sudden. But we're in podcasting, where words are really important.
Yeah.
And then that ruins everybody's friendships and relationships because you can't say anything.
Yeah.
Because people are really stupid.
Yeah.
This is actually easier because I feel like a little whap to the nose would distract him. Like if you're his mother and BJ's looking at you like, your Clorks are from whatever big booby planet that she might be from. Nice. If she just whapped his nose, I think his brain would scramble. She goes in, gets the Coke. By the time his brain unscrambles, she's already drinking it on the couch watching her program, and he forgot why he was there in the first place.
Oh my God, that's so true. Like the time that some dude grabbed my ass in a club and I flicked him in the forehead.
Perfect.
Totally rattled him. He had no idea what to do with himself. I stunned him for like a solid 30 seconds.
It completely works. The male brain, reptilian in nature. You stun us. We don't know what to do, Kyle.
No, especially not when you're at home. I think the Hawaiians probably use the chancla as well.
What's the chancla?
Take off your little
when you take
flip-flop.
off the sandal and you flip it.
Ow,
That's the chancla.
Jerry.
Sorry, it's nature.
That was nature. I didn't know you were supposed to do that with those rubber shoes of yours.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's Dominican instinct.
Well, it's a good thing that the Germans didn't do it because we're a wood shoe people.
Ew.
Yeah.
Logs?
God forbid you be comfortable.
That does not have the same ring to it.
No, it's going to knock your fucking ass out.
Yeah.
So, BJ Penn, he was being arrested from officers, as the officers were arresting him, he did not do the Randy Marsh, I thought this was America, but he did something close. He says, how can I be under arrest for harassment? This is my house.
I will say, if you're part of the government or a group that is going to kill someone's family and replace them with aliens, doing it to someone who's been in a combat sport is like the smartest way to go, because everyone's just going to go, oh, he has CTE. But what if he's right?
That's what I've been saying this entire time.
Crying. No
that is what I've been saying this whole time.
Is that what you have been saying this
Yes.
whole time? That you think that he really is, he's Jason Bourne and he has to find his way out of this creepy family?
And of course, if
like the movie Us?
That
Evil
Yes, the Tethers.
doppelgangers?
Thank you. Thank you so much, Jerii. We watch so many horror films. I can't believe you're not even entertaining the idea that perhaps BJ Penn is onto something. And of course, Jason, if he found Christ, he would be Jason Reborn. Okay, kind of fun for our audience out there that might like that style of humor. So BJ Penn, this is what he says. He says, how could I be under arrest for harassment? This is my house. And then he says, I just went to grab the mail. Can we call an officer? I know that can talk to you guys. Can we call an officer I know that can talk to you guys? So he says, I know someone on the force. Let me call him. And then he wants to phone a friend.
Yes.
Okay.
And then he's like, and he's going to come and talk to you guys. But then he says, why am I being arrested again? What kind of harassment? What does harassment mean?
In reality, what actually started this whole thing?
Yes. Okay. So he has denied any wrongdoing whatsoever.
Right.
So what he has said is that in Hawaii, imposter theft. Okay. So this whole thing is a little bit confusing now, right? Because now we're going to move on to the mind of BJ Penn.
No, but I want to know what happened.
Well, he got into a physical altercation with a family member.
Okay.
Because he believes, again, that his family had been murdered and replaced with imposters.
Right.
So this is what he wrote, just to set the stage. He says, in Hawaii, imposter theft refers to instances where individuals falsely impersonate others, often steal their identity, or commit fraudulent acts. This can involve using a fake identity to obtain documents, financial accounts, or even posing as law enforcement or other professionals to commit crimes. #Hawaii.
Okay.
And then he says, my mother, Lorraine Shin, my brother, J.D. Penn, my brother, Reagan Penn, and my brother, Kalani Mamazuka were all murdered, and he needs the police to investigate. So I am not exactly certain what happened as far as the altercation with his family now.
Yeah.
They did not say, but I'm assuming that he was like, you're not my real family.
Yeah, because he's saying that I can't harass anyone in my own house, so it has to be like harassment driven, maybe not like, I don't know if it's physical, but harassment, just that implies that he was yelling obscenities at them again.
Well, he did have some physical contact. So they say this was all captured on camera, and they say he was charged with, quote, abuse of a family member or household member and an offensive physical contact. So he wasn't playing defense. He was on the offensive.
Ah, I see.
But again, if he's right, maybe one cop, they need to get a Scully in there.
Huh?
They need to get someone who believes that maybe these are imposters.
Why?
Because just to give BJ Penn
A fair shake.
A fair shake, thank you.
You guys.
Give him a fair shake.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
It's definitely not going to give anyone a fair
you don't know.
shake.
You don't know that. But just entertain the idea that maybe his entire family has been killed, which will make him very sad.
Okay.
And then replaced by different Hawaiians. And then maybe if the detective comes back and says, no, I'm sorry, that's your family, they just suck, he'd be like, all right, fine. Thank you for at least investigating.
I see.
Sometimes all you need to do is just talk to these people and pretend to listen.
Yeah.
You mean like what Mark Ruffalo does to Leonardo DiCaprio in Shutter Island?
Exactly.
He lets him do this whole investigation, pretend investigation.
Yes.
All over the island, all day long, over and over again.
Yeah.
He doesn't get anywhere.
Yeah, doesn't that movie just end with like Leo
Him
being
not
all
getting-
dumb? He's just all stupid?
Yeah, well, he comes to a point where in his brain where he realizes he is going to keep reverting back. So
Yeah.
he allows them to think that he's all dumb so that he can get all the shocks in his brain.
Fun trivia
Lobotomy.
fact.
Okay.
Fun trivia fact. My mother is a character in that movie.
What'd she do?
What? She was the bald one that says shush while he's walking in?
The bald one? No. That would be great, though.
That would be
The nurse
so-
that hands him a note and it says, run. That's my mother.
That's your mom?
No shit.
That's not literally my mom. It's the character named first and last name because we know Dennis Lehane, who wrote the book.
Wait, what?
So he put her in there.
Okay, wait. So is it or is it not your mom?
It's
a
character based on my mother with her first and last name.
Got it.
I
got
love
it.
that.
That's pretty
My
cool.
mom's a nurse. She's the nurse on Shutter Island.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
She killed her first husband with a chainsaw, which my mom didn't do in real life.
I
But he
was
thought that
gonna
was real funny
I
because he didn't
literally
like my
thought
dad.
You were relating that. That's
Yeah.
pretty funny.
Yeah.
So it's felons and then people who have actors play them in films.
Yes.
The Ploof story. So, interestingly enough, with the BJ Penn tale, the person who filmed the violent act, there's some backlash against them.
Why is that?
Because they say, put the camera down, defend the family.
I think so.
So, footage, it spread everywhere. But then some people pointed their fingers at the person behind the camera because the man who was filming He's filming BJ Penn while he lies in bed, and BJ Penn is all upset, right? He's all like, I'm mad.
Okay.
And then rather than expressing concern for Penn's well-being, the cameraman just continues to film like it's the Anna Nicole Smith reality show where her lawyer, Howard K. Stern, wanted to kill her for his own benefit.
Oh, boy.
Wow.
So BJ is in bed for this footage, and you can see him here. He's obviously going through some kind of psychological fit.
But his thighs are doing amazing.
Oh, he's buff.
Wow.
I mean, he's buff.
He's still in peak shape while losing his mind. I love that for him.
I mean, you almost think he could go back into the octagon and be better than ever.
Probably. Yeah, he might be at his peak. Just pretend that all of them are imposters.
Exactly.
They're all trying to replace his brother.
They're all trying to kill me. It's like when you would play football against somebody and you'd be like, you killed my mother, and be like, I don't even know your mom. But he's saying that for his own self.
He's like, oh, you killed my mother, bitch.
Right. And I'm like, I'm sorry you lost your mom, but can we please, this isn't going to help you become a linebacker.
Oh, it's going to help.
It might.
This phenomenon is called Capgras delusion.
Capgras?
What now?
It's a delusional misidentification syndrome that comes from, it's widely recognized that it comes from damage to organs, which in this case would be his brain.
Ooh.
What are you talking about? The brain's an organ all of a sudden?
So that's the history of it.
The biggest organ, baby.
Not quite.
Not mine.
It is.
Yeah,
my brain's very
actually,
small.
Probably, yeah. For both of you, it's different.
No, I was saying my penis. It's about the size of my penis.
Yeah. No, yeah, I got that.
Which I can almost see again.
Nice.
Yeah, humble brag,
Nice.
everybody.
Send him a postcard that says, see you soon.
Yeah. Oh, my dick, it's been shuddering in its cocoon long enough. Wait until I get a hold of you.
Yeah.
Okay. So one person wrote, when it comes to the person who was filming BJ Penn on the bed, he says, whoever is recording this sounds like the one who's manipulating BJ and making him believe stuff that isn't happening and is adding to his already bad mental state. I think that BJ Penn needs to, what we got to do over, start over, move. He needs to move out of Hawaii.
Yeah.
And just go to Minnesota. Go to Wisconsin. Go to a place and just start all over, because it seems like whatever is happening there is toxic.
I think he probably is contributing to that.
He
but
is.
But his family is not responding ideally, I feel like. I mean, I can't imagine the stress that they're under going through this day in, day out, and trying to like protect your family member, trying to keep him inside, but then also and trying to keep him close, looking after him, not sending him off anywhere. But then you got the camera guy who's just like, this is footage, this is gold.
Content. It's all about content. We're going to get so many Insta views.
Yeah.
But keep in mind, like when you go out to a bar in Florida and someone regales you with their life story, and their life story is like, my ex-wife hates me, my children don't talk to me.
Right.
All of the, but those are just kind of like, well, but you're still a great guy. But he's not. Right.
No.
But to me, he's a great guy because we're just sitting here chit-chatting over a couple of beers. And
Is that what you say to people when they say that shit to you?
I encourage. I say, well, you're just a guy, just a dude trying to make it in this crazy world. It's okay.
You could say you're just a dude, but say you're a great guy. I don't know. It'd be like, hey, buddy, I don't really know you, but I don't know.
You're a
If
great.
you needed me to write a list down of everything you just said you did wrong, I just wrote the list. It's pretty long.
But then, barkeep, another Jameson, please.
Yeah.
What a great guy. Get one for my buddy over here too. What he needs.
What an unlucky bastard. Give this guy a shot. How about that?
What exactly? What he needs to do is go to a place where nobody really knows his actual family. And then he can sit there and be like, yeah, my family was murdered. A bunch of imposters came in and I got all mad at them. Anyway, that's why I'm in Milwaukee. And then the person there will be like, no shit. That's fucking crazy, bro.
Bro, fuck that bitch. You're a fucking great guy. Those imposters should be so lucky to have you.
Exactly.
Wow.
It's a good thing you're such a fighter so no one can impost you.
Hey.
Right?
I want to impost upon somebody.
I'll impost you right now. So then he can just have a story to tell, and you keep it that beautiful layer, slightly sweaty like an alcoholic's brow, of just superficial conversation that happens, but you can have it for 10 hours every single day. A nice bar stool talk. That's what he needs. Just get it off his chest. And then it was like, BJ. And then someone will come and be like, you're BJ Penn. He'll sign a couple of autographs.
I mean, I still don't really know who he is.
Well,
except for a psychopath.
He was a very successful UFC fighter.
I believe
Yes.
that.
So that's why you can't really rile him up too much. You can't defend yourself being like, I'm your mother, because they'll be like, ah!
Exactly.
Start karate chopping you.
Well, BJ Penn's mother, speaking of her, she was granted a restraining order, which does sound like another sort of UFC technique, the restraining order.
That doesn't fix anything. If anything, they should have sent him somewhere, like, seriously.
Milwaukee to the bar circuit.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure.
Then someone's going to die.
No one's going to die. No one's dying.
Understand.
Also, restraining order should have been the big boss man's finishing move.
Yeah, that's true.
He's a pro wrestler.
I see.
He's dead.
He died. So his mother, Lorraine Shin, she was granted a temporary restraining order because, they're all like mad and stuff. And she's like, he doesn't believe I'm his real mother. So he's got to stay at least 100 feet away. But that's shouting distance.
Yeah.
100 feet is fucking nothing.
100 feet is throwing something at her.
Exactly.
Nice little chancla.
You're not my mother. You're not my mom.
That's what I used to say to my stepmom.
Yeah.
You're not my mother.
Well, that's nice of you.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wow. Real mature.
Yeah,
That's nice
She
of
would
you.
try to lock me down, and I'd be like, "You're not my mother."
But how old were you? I bet you were like 28 years old.
Yeah, I was 37.
Yeah, I've seen those footage before. I was trying to watch a little smut the other day, and it was one of these stepmom things, which I don't do. But then she kept on. But I can click on it and just be like, okay, I hope that's just a title. Like, I'm not trying to do all that. But she's like, lick mom. Well, I'm not gonna say all that.
Come over here, lick
But she kept on saying the word mom, and I'm like, no, I can't. So I had to turn that
That's
off.
the only way you're going to be able to wrap your imagination around it. They have to keep shoving
I
those
don't
words
get
in
it.
your face
That
because
is-
obviously you know that these are actors that are not actually related.
Well, yeah.
They just have to be like,
yes,
mom, please, mom, no, mom, yes, son, do it, son.
I'm so confused about that because do people actually watch that because the people are in it are hot and they're just like, out of the context, or are they really thinking about their family members?
I think they're thinking about their stepmom.
I don't think, but what about
But you're already
people-
looking at someone else.
What about people that don't have stepmoms?
Well,
There's no one to imagine.
sadly, in America, most people do. At least half.
That's true.
At least half.
I'm dead.
Yeah, I don't. I'll
The
never
other
fully
half
understand
watches it with the volume down just for like what's going on physically.
that. Yeah, but I like to hear the moan.
Rawr.
Yeah.
Mommy moans.
Nope. No can do. So anyway, so he can't be near his mother. Speaking of moaning. And then Shin, that's the mom. She claims that she suffered extreme psychological abuse.
Oh, well, yeah.
I believe that.
Yeah, that is totally believable. Mm-hmm. I'd be a little fucked up, too.
Yep, he says she says he believes I'm an imposter who has killed his family to get control of the
Yeah.
family assets, which is kind of cute. I mean, it's kind of cute.
Fucking hilarious.
It's kind of cute.
I mean, after 2 months of hearing that shit, she probably goes to the bathroom at night one day and just looks in the mirror and it's like, am I the real me? Like,
Starts scratching her
she
face.
starts believing it. Like, but if that's my son and I have mother intuition, then wouldn't I know if I was her mother or not? What is happening?
I just purchased the VHS tape of Dead Alive, which is a fantastic Peter Jackson film. His first movie, he went on to do The Lord of the Rings, and Dead Alive is a movie that is fucking absolutely grotesque, and the mother does become a bit of a demon person, so perhaps BJ Penn is onto something.
I want to see.
It's really good. We'll watch it when it comes.
There's a priest that shows up and he goes, "I kick ass for the Lord."
No.
Yeah,
It's
I
the best.
love that.
it's really funny.
And then a lawnmower does a lot of damage.
Yes, it does. Even
Final Destination.
Indeed, and that's a perfect time to get to our next story.
Pew, 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 pew.
Movie theaters.
Oh.
In America, this story takes us all the way to Argentina. But in America, I want to hear you guys' answers on this. When you guys sit down in a movie theater, do you look for exits just in case and when a mass shooter comes in?
Yes.
No,
You don't.
I don't.
The survival instinct of the American male thrives again.
Interesting.
Yes, I always look to be like, if they come in there, I'm going to get out here, vice versa, boom, boom, boom.
See, I usually look for exits when I'm on dates with men.
Okay, similar idea.
Yeah.
Similar
Yeah, yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because they might become the shooter.
Right. They might. Yeah.
When it comes to Final Destination, being shot, passe.
Oh my
That's
God.
not how they die.
Try better.
Try better. Try the ceiling falling on people while they watch the movie Final Destination.
I cannot believe that that's a real thing that happened.
It was in Argentina. People are watching this film, and they must have thought that they were in like 4D has gotten really good.
Yeah, seriously. How do you buy that it's actually real?
They're sitting there enjoying the film when all of a sudden a roof collapses. And thankfully, I don't believe anybody was killed, which is good. They say the truth, this is according to Fiamma Vilvarvardi, This is what they say. They say the truth is we hadn't even planned to go to the movies, but destiny brought them.
Well, you fucked with destiny, buddy, and you know how that works if you watch the movies.
Yep. And then they say also, it was my birthday. Ooh, it's a great day to die.
I mean, I wonder if they feel like they cheated death.
They might have.
And now death is out to get them.
And don't we all cheat death the day we come down that vaginal canal?
Yeah.
So they say, it was my birthday. We were walking and happened upon the theater. They just happened upon a theater.
Oh.
Isn't that amazing?
Whoa.
And they say, since the tickets were cheaper than the rest of the week, we said, shall we? They're all fancy.
Oh, they still have days of the week where it's cheaper?
Yeah, dude.
Remember those days?
I know. I think somebody said it's like $15 on Tuesday or something. It's still
That's
fucking way too
so
expensive.
whack. It used to be like $4 on Tuesdays.
It's nuts. And also the popcorn. Come on. What are you even? You're selling glorified air with butter.
Yeah, with like oil butter.
I don't even like it.
It's like heavy and gross. If I eat too much of it, which I end up doing because it's amazing and I just want to like munch it up while I'm watching the movie, but then I end up feeling like kind of nauseous afterwards because it's so heavy in the oil.
Yeah, my friend Jazzy, she goes in on that. So I said, Jazzy, you about to die?
Yeah, no.
But
I prefer microwavable at home popcorn.
I do too.
I think that's great.
I do too. So they say, shall we? We went in, bought some popcorn, and went into the theater. The show had just started, so they were a little bit late. It's her birthday. And then all of a sudden, boom. And next thing you know, the whole goddamn roof is collapsing around them.
Wow.
But they lived to tell the story.
What did they do? I wonder if they like tucked into a chair, or if they rolled out, or if they just, crouched down.
She was with her 11-year-old daughter,
Oh my God.
God.
which I watched somebody who was like, I went to Final Destination and there was a 9-year-old and a 10-year-old in there, and I thought that was really bad parenting. But I don't.
Oh, come on.
That's
not that bad.
It's not that bad. Final Destinations aren't that bad. It's not Antichrist where the guy is bleeding out of his cock.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's not. I would say Sinners is probably scarier for a child than Final Destination.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Because it's the tone.
It's the tone.
That's what kids feel.
I guess so.
Because Final Destination is pretty light in tone because it's
I mean,
so
I was
stupid.
pretty terrified of the earlier Final Destinations. Like, they did totally freak me out.
Right.
This one, not so much. And I don't know if it's because I'm older or because of the quality of the movie. Or maybe, maybe the dust has settled in that scare tactic for me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the 6th installment. It's never going to be as scary or as shocking as the first.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was definitely we were laughing.
It was a
theater.
laugher.
It was a laugher. It was fun. I mean, that's kind of why I like those kind of scary movies.
Yeah.
When I go to see the new Conjuring, which we're all going to go to, I ain't going to be laughing at that.
Yeah, we are.
Because that fucking nun is
It's going to be great.
scary.
I love that.
So she was with her 11-year-old daughter. It was her birthday, the mother's birthday.
Damn.
Then they said, there was a really loud noise. At first, we thought it was part of the movie. They were so absorbed into the film. But then a huge piece fell on me.
Uh-oh.
Jesus.
Yes, she added that a portion of the ceiling fell on her, striking her shoulder, her back, her knee, and her ankle.
Oh, that's specific.
It got a lot of her.
Yeah.
Got the whole thing.
She laying down?
No, maybe they
A lot of those seats you can.
How did it get her ankle? That is not a reclining special seat thing.
No.
Those are regular chairs. Those are like the airplane chairs where you can recline them 1 centimeter back.
That's true. Yes. Well, either way, it got her shoulder, her back, her knee, and her ankle. So the whole thing. Luckily, she was able to avoid more serious injuries. She said that the debris missed her head because she was leaning on the armrest. So she was like,
Oh my
Bad posture
God.
finally saves the day.
there we
Wow.
go.
That's insane.
And then the funniest thing is, she asked for her money back. She was like,
That's
you know
it?
what? Yeah, that's it. She said, you know what? I fucking came into this movie theater expecting the roof not to collapse, and by golly, it did.
Can I have my $7 back?
One free ticket. I would ask for a lifetime of free movies.
Yeah, she said.
Or like
And
$50,000.
like a settlement, yeah.
Yeah, this is Argentina. They're more innocent because immedially here we're like,
Can I have
oh,
my-
money signs.
Cha-ching.
Yep,
Yeah.
dollars from heaven.
Probably people diving underneath it.
Exactly. Oh, my back, my shoulder, my nail.
One person is like, the emotional distress of this event.
That I saw people die. Now I want money.
I was in another theater, but I heard people screaming, and I want $1 million now.
And that was my cousin. I deserve something.
She says, We asked for my money back. And then she says, well, I was waiting. The theater manager came to me and asked, how do you want to fix this? And then she says, I got angry.
I'd get a roofer.
Yeah, well, that would, you want to, yeah, unless you're planning on making this an outdoor drive-in, you want a roof.
Right.
So then she says, and that made me angry. How do I want to fix this? She says, I'm going to file a complaint. Just imagine if they hit my daughter in the head. They're irresponsible.
Wow.
So isn't that amazing? I do think the theater is way too relaxed.
Yeah.
Because the manager was like, how do you want to fix this?
Well, yeah, they don't even keep anything up to code. Of course they're relaxed.
Yeah.
They just put it on hold. Ma'am, thank you so much. It's been a really crazy day. I'll get right back to you in like 5 to 10 business days.
Yeah, I'm off work in 5 fucking minutes. I don't care. Well, apparently what happened was there was a bunch of heavy rain, and because of the rain...
Water took the roof down?
Yes. And because of that, the roof collapsed.
Damn, dude.
And it was brutal. So, but nobody died. It was, and really, they just sat in the exact chairs that they shouldn't have.
Yeah.
And you can take a look here at the firefighter that came in. He has an American flag on his shirt.
He does.
But he's just looking at the ceiling, be like, "Yup,
Yeah, that's a hole.
yup."
No, she was telling the truth. The roof fell down.
And it appears as if the film is still playing,
It looks like it, right?
which is very, very exciting.
The show must go on.
The show must go on, even if it's just a play, even if it's just a film in a theater.
Yes.
I do love good plays.
Well, do you think it was like a daytime showing, and that's why?
I think it was a
very packed?
daytime
That makes
showing.
sense. Yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, let's move on to a story that is just fucking crazy. It involves a millionaire. It involves 2 crypto bros, Italy, and attempted murder.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something like chickpeas. You would have.
No. We do have a story about a pigeon who was on a plane and everyone fucking freaked out.
Now that's great. I want to hear that one too.
That was really funny. They're like, it's a pigeon on a plane.
Yeah, the pigeon was like, "What the fuck am I doing here?" He was like a Brooklyn ass pigeon.
Yeah, they're cute.
Supposed to be flying south. Why am I going to fucking Minnesota?
Well, and this isn't right. I'm not about to say something racist. There's footage. But they are being perhaps in the falafel. They might be getting falafeled.
Good job for the warning about the racist thing you were about to say.
It's not, no, because there's footage of like, why is that pigeon walking into that guy's little...
Gotta love when people are like, and this isn't racist, but...
I am white. and people say, oh, white are racist. But then all of a sudden when you're racist, they're mad at you. I'm just living up to stereotypes.
Yeah.
No, obviously.
Damn right.
Obviously, that is not true, and I love every pigeon out there.
Me too.
So, New York City, crypto bros are a different type of malicious. It's these 2 dudes. It's John Woltz and William Duplessis.
Ooh.
They're called hard partying crypto bros.
That makes sense.
So it reminds me a little bit of Party Monster.
You think so?
Just a little bit, because obviously they're partying hard. They live in an 8-bedroom Soho house.
Ah.
And they tried to kidnap and perhaps eventually kill this dude, Michael Valentino Teofrasto Carturian.
Oh.
That guy. He goes by 4 full names because he's really, really rich.
Yeah.
So he's a multimillionaire. Last week, he approached a cop and said that he had just escaped being in prison and tortured at this very, very ritzy residence. So prosecutors say Woltzy and Duplessis forced Carturian to send them Bitcoin after they threatened to kill his family. So they're like, we're gonna kill your family unless you send us some Bitcoin.
That's hilarious.
So then Woltz and Duplessis allegedly told Carturian he could get his Bitcoin back if he personally showed up in New York, which he did in May to get the Bitcoin. But you don't hold Bitcoin.
Yeah, it's not like a
Why would he have to
thing?
Right. Why would he have to be in New York to get his Bitcoin back?
Just like send it.
I don't think they get how it works.
No. So prosecutors said an unnamed off-duty NYPD detective was hired by Woltz and Duplessis. He picked up Carturian from the airport and took him to Prince Street. Of course, that was where the townhouse is in Soho, which all of us have been to many times. Prince Street, that is, not this house.
Right.
So Woltz, who was 33, and 37-year-old Duplessis took this 28-year-old's passport devices. They then bound him by the wrists and proceeded to torture him over the course of 17 effing days.
17 days? What did they do?
Don't you get tired?
Yes, it's hungry.
Over 2 weeks of just being like, yeah, we got that guy tied up. Like bored. Like at some point.
Forgets about it completely.
Right? And I would just, every day I would wake up stressed.
Yeah, seriously.
I'd be like, we got this guy tied up. We got to torture him. Mm-hmm. I haven't even put my pants on yet. So, over the course of 17 days, he was pistol whipped.
Wow.
Shocked with electrical wires.
Ouch.
He was threatened to be shot. And then his family was also threatened. The suspects wanted Couturier to give up his password to his Bitcoin wallet.
That is insane.
Yeah.
Half the people can't even remember their passwords.
Well, that's the
For
major problem.
anything.
I wouldn't, if I was kidnapped for, I don't know anything.
Yeah.
I don't know anything.
If you asked me for my 4-digit PIN code on my iPhone, I would die of stress. I'd be like, just end it now. I'm not going to remember.
Pop
I
me in
only
the head.
remember by muscle memory.
The phone only remembers my face, and you've beaten it half to death, so now we really can't get in.
Seriously.
Exactly. Have you all been to one of those fucking ATMs where they flip the numbers?
Flip the number.
Where the numbers start with 9 as opposed to the 1?
No.
Because I just remember, because my passcode, it's, but I know where it is.
Right.
But yeah, when
exactly the muscle memory.
it's the ones where I think in Vegas they do it. In like some professional places, they'll flip the little thing to try to make you have to think.
I don't like that at all.
I don't like that at all either, because I kept on getting it wrong. And I was like, what the fuck is my password? And then I had to think about anyway, long story short, it all worked out. Okay. Couturier, he told authorities that the two suspects cut his leg with a saw, forced him to smoke crack, which that might be. Hey, Officer Dave's forced me. He's like, that might have been the only thing he did.
That might have been a nice cop strategy right there. We're like, all right, listen,
Yeah.
buddy, we know it's been a lot. Let's just give you a little break.
It takes the edge off the saw in your leg.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, they sawed up his leg.
That's crazy.
They forced him to smoke cck by putting the pipe up to his mouth.
Here, we'll hold it for you.
Yeah, now they're like, no one's going to believe you're not an addict now.
Yeah, and then they also pissed on him.
Oh,
They urinated on
did
him.
they sting him with jellyfish too?
I don't know.
Seriously.
I don't know. So it doesn't seem fun. Give us your password for Bitcoin. He also had an air tag tied around his neck with a chain or a wire so that they wouldn't lose him. They air tagged him.
So that they wouldn't lose. How loose was he?
He wasn't loose at all. He was tied up, getting pissed on.
Yeah, he seems like he was pretty trapped in there. 17 days. It looks like the air tag wasn't necessary.
Yeah.
After 17 days, however, again, he was able to escape and talk to a police officer. And thank God the officer didn't just think he was another homeless person in New York.
Yeah.
And took him seriously. John Woltz, do you know what he is known as in his home state of Kentucky?
No.
The Crypto King of Kentucky.
Oh, wow.
Oh, no. You guys messed with the Crypto King of Kentucky?
No, that's the guy who was messing with Couturier. This is the guy, one of the douchebags who's doing all the pissing.
Oh, yeah.
He's the Crypto King of Kentucky.
Yeah, this guy looks like Tim Robinson, by the way. When they make the made-for-TV movie on this, they need Tim Robinson and Steve Ranazizi, because that's exactly what these two morons look like.
I totally see it.
I think you should leave. I
totally
can't.
see it.
You've kidnapped me and sawed my legs and forced me to smoke crack. I would love to leave.
And they're like, I have a dynasty to protect.
So, the Crypto King of Kentucky, John Woltz, he allegedly channeled his inner Suge Knight and hung Couturier over a ledge from the top flight of the stairs of his townhouse.
Wow.
Well, Michael Jackson
Yes, with blanket.
With blanket.
in Germany. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Also, blanket was totally fine, and people made a big deal out of that.
The
Like,
biggest deal.
Kids
It's
allowed
just the way that he did it didn't seem like he had like a grip on the baby. Like he seemed
Right.
like he was already it was slipping.
Right.
But
But
he was like, just kidding. It's
the
like,
babies are. I mean, they would have ripped that baby apart. That crowd.
oh yeah, totally. That baby.
I got the arm.
Yeah. All I got is baby. Yeah, that would have been bad. But anyway, so Couturier finally, after 17 days, gave them the password from his laptop computer.
Wow, that's a long time to get to the breaking point.
Right?
Yeah, he held on, man. You're a freaking trooper.
For fucking Bitcoin, couldn't he get it back? Maybe it's not. No, Bitcoin is now basically as regulated as anything else, isn't it? I mean, he would be able to get his Bitcoin back.
It's on its way. Yeah, once it's gone, it's gone.
Oh, it's gone.
That's the whole thing about Bitcoin. Even when you own it, they don't know who owns it.
I see.
Yeah, you need the password, the passcodes, the passphrases. It's a whole fucking thing.
There's a great parable out there where a guy threw away like two full Bitcoin.
Oh, yeah.
And he's been searching in trash for the past 25 years to find it.
Oh, there's a guy that had like 300 million worth, and it's in landfills, and he's been running around trying to find it. You can't do it.
Just live your life.
What?
Live your life, pal.
What do you mean? What do you mean it's lost in landfill?
He threw it away and it's in a landfill.
It's on a hard drive.
Oh my god!
And if you don't have that, it's gone. Because back in the day, you needed a specific hard drive for it.
Wow.
So the guy is literally spending his whole life sifting through trash to try to get $300 million, but he's just going to die.
That's a
Yeah.
sad.
It's
sad
gone,
life.
pal. Sorry.
Wow.
Oh, it's so rough.
That's the way life goes. So once Woltz, the crypto king of Kentucky, went down to retrieve the laptop, Couturian ran down the stairs and out the front door.
Wow.
Flagged down an officer, got all the 911 people all interested in it, and then Woltz was arrested May 23rd at his townhouse. Duplessis was arrested when he turned himself in to the police station. Prosecutors say a search warrant of the townhouse recovered a saw, chicken wire,
Wow.
T-shirts featuring pictures of Couturian with the pipe in his mouth.
Oh, they had time to make T-shirts.
Yeah, the person that they kidnapped and are forcing to smoke crack, they took a picture and put it on T-shirts.
Where did they wear this fucking shirt?
I'd be selling those T-shirts everywhere.
Casual Friday at the office. Where are they wearing these shirts?
That's their little inside joke.
It's a pretty gnarly shirt you got there. You're like, yeah, it's just a joke between me and my friends.
Obviously, they found crack cocaine. Yes, so they found Polaroid pictures of Couturian with a gun pointed at his head and other items, including a firearm, ammunition, and body armor. Blood was also found in parts of the residence, matching locations where Couturian described he had been tortured.
That is
So,
wow.
there we go. John Woltz and William Duplessis are both facing charges of kidnapping and torture. I'm assuming there'll be a couple of more charges thrown on there.
Yeah.
Couturian, he has been released from Bellevue Hospital, so I guess he's doing okay.
Duplessis is going to have to give up that Duplessis.
Wow.
It's going to be a thumb drive in his Duplessis.
I love what you're
my
doing today,
God.
Kyle.
That's right. That's
And
why I'm here.
Christ.
Here's a picture
Yeah.
of Woltz dressed as an army man.
What?
Oh, wow.
What a douchebag.
With
The crypto
absolutely nothing underneath.
No, he's just wearing army overalls with the army helmet, which is now
God,
it's very
they are
scary.
the
And
prime example of when bro duding goes too fucking far.
Yep.
There is a limit.
Yeah.
because there is an adorable level of bro dude when a person's
Yeah.
just a bro dude, but they're a good person.
Yeah.
Where you're just like, you're a fucking idiot. You're such a
Yeah.
moron, bro dude.
Bro,
It's like, I'm a bro dude. Yeah, that's what I do. I bro dude.
Yeah, totally.
But then he'll also like really go above and beyond to get you coke.
Exactly.
You know, and he's just like, I'm gonna make sure we have fun, guys.
Yeah.
It's a good bro dude. But these guys, again,
Yeah, they crossed the spectrum.
they really did.
They bro duded too close to the sun.
He really did. So we'll keep you updated on that story. I'm happy the dude lived 17 days of being tortured, forced to smoke crack, and then the audacity of them making T-shirts with pictures with the image of him.
That's incredible.
Garbage.
We
Wow.
have to find that.
I mean, you got to know after 17 days, they're not going to kill you. I'd be like, put the saw down. You're on the lease now.
I thought.
Right, well, that's true.
Dead.
You're too weak to kill me.
No, I would have thought he felt near death at that point,
I'm sure.
which is why
possible.
he gave his password.
Also, what I heard from that when you said he ran out and was able to get outside real quick, that he's in a walk up. Because he's able to run down the stairs. Because you're not getting on the elevator being like, oh, God, I got
Oh, no, he's in a walk up.
Yeah.
He's
Yep.
definitely, yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, just very, very briefly here, we'll wrap it up with a fun little bird story. Delta flight thrown into chaos. A stowaway pigeon was in the cabin,
Let's go.
and people were real shocked. It was a flight from Wisconsin all the way to Minneapolis, St. Paul.
I said Minnesota.
Hey, there you go.
That's crazy.
A passenger, Tom Caw, this is what he says. He says, the pilot gets on and says, ladies and gentlemen, we have a wildlife situation on the plane.
His name was Caw?
Yeah.
Like caw, like a bird?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Who the fuck you think brought the goddamn bird?
Yeah, I think we found out.
So it turns out that there was a little pigeon on the plane, and people from the Midwest, we're a squirrel people, but we're not really comfortable with pigeons.
That's hilarious. Yeah, if that was a flight in New York City, that pigeon would be playing dice with people. People would start taking bets with him.
It'd be cute.
He'd be fine.
Yep, just one dude licking his lips, being like, can't wait to get home and eat that one.
Yep.
So, a call, they said that everything seemed normal. Then when I sat down, I overheard a passenger come up to the flight attendant who was standing right there by me. And they said, I think there's a pigeon on this plane. And then he's like, well, that's all weird. And it turns out there was 2 of them. They were going on vacation. Isn't that cute? Wow. I say, let them on.
That's adorable.
So the second pigeon took flight, and then that led to a crazy situation.
Why though? Why would it have to be a crazy? They could have been like, guys, there are 2 birds on the plane. We're pretty much just gonna keep this whole thing running smoothly. When we land, we will deal with the birds. Don't fucking bother them. Don't touch
bother
them.
'em.
If you
Right.
get pooped on them, good luck. That's good luck.
Well, you want to put a little diaper on them.
Yeah.
You got to put a little diaper on them.
You're not
I do
gonna
think
put a diaper on a pigeon.
it's well, you got to catch it. I do think it's adorable that planes or pigeons are now taking planes.
Yeah, it is really cute.
Isn't that cute?
How are you gonna pull a pair of diapers over the pigeon's Tims?
Well, that's true. Yeah. Well, that's a good. Maybe just super glue their buttholes. Okay. So anyway, the guy says the woman next to me was quite panicky about it, and she said to me, "Oh, I'm going to need to get some free wine." I love the Midwest. I love the Midwest, and she says, "I'm going to need free wine." So that was her reaction. She was like, "I don't need a ticket. Just give me my free wine."
No worries about the refund. I actually got here.
Mm-hmm. And then all that happened was the flight was brought back to the gate, and the pigeons
back.
Yeah,
well, that's again. It did not have to interfere this much. If I was on this plane, I would have been pissed.
Yeah,
guys, this is the dumbest reason to interfere with this flight.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
It wasn't like a raging zombie pigeon.
Yeah.
It wasn't pecking at people nonstop. It didn't smuggle a bunch of drugs on.
Yeah, pigeons in flight. All right, everyone.
That's a lazy pigeon.
I know. Tomorrow I'm going to have Bud of the Week, BUD of the Week. It was going to be Chucky, this Chucky actor, and I was going to honor all actors of horror films that play the monsters. But it turns out this guy, Ed Gale, who played Little Chucky, he was on probation for soliciting a minor.
Ooh.
He's dead.
Many minors.
Yeah,
Wow.
many minors. So so he's off.
Yeah.
So that's why so there's no BUD of the week right now, but there will be one tomorrow. Sure. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for supporting the show. Anyone with comments?
Yes. BB saying, stop, I'm a stepmom. That's so gross.
You are.
Stepmother porn.
BB on these. Wait, never mind.
You send your stepson straight to his room.
On the
He's been not. Oh, I'm sorry.
the Argentinian Final Destination experience, Vanessa said that was a 4D experience.
It was. Yes, indeed. Love that.
And Pano said, imagine completing a CAPTCHA after your fingernails are pulled out and your eyes were blinded.
I would hate that. I don't want to imagine that at all.
I cannot imagine that.
Absolutely
it is
not.
unfathomable.
Yeah, you know.
Thanks for supporting Death and Entertainment. We got, who we cover? We got John Holmes and the Wonderland Murders this week.
Yes.
Also, we got the OK Bud Political Show where we talk about all the wonderful workings of the American political system.
I'm so
Yes.
proud of you guys. You guys are so smart.
You're so smart.
You're so smart. You guys are all like, these are my opinions because they are smart.
Don't know about all that. And of course, 4 OK Buds a week. And yes, we're going to keep on growing.
Yes.
And growing and growing. Thank you all so much for your support. We love you. And thanks for being on the ground floor. It's going to be fantastic. Hail yourself.
Hail yourself. Tell your stepchildren. Tell your
Oh,
step
God.
parents.
Honestly, do that.
Yeah. If you have a step something, tell them about the show.
Yeah, listen to it together, specifically this episode.
Bye.